Hey guys, it's Ian here from Mid-America Prep. Thanks for tuning in and watching. This is a quick video on how I'm going to be making a grip for my cameras, and in this case particularly my GoPro. This is my GoPro Hero. I actually picked up a couple of weeks ago at Nebraska Furniture Mart for 130 bucks. This is basically the new GoPro, the basic GoPro. It just shoots in 720 and 1080. And it takes still pictures and burst pictures and time-lapse pictures or video. And I'm going on a cruise here in a couple of months, and on that cruise I'm going to be doing some swimming with dolphins and snorkeling, and I hope I can go and I can pay for the excursion to go and get my diving license. I do think this cruise has that. If it does, it'll be kind of cool. But anyways, I got this GoPro specifically for that trip, so I can get some video of underwater, and I always see that video out there, and it's really kind of cool. People going underwater and taking footage of the fish and everything. So because you can go take pictures of fish, or you can find pictures of fish, but it's just cool when you can remember what you saw exactly by taking pictures or video of it. So with that being said, I have different tripods and monopods and stuff. And the tripod you're on right now is just too big for me to take with me, because obviously why do I need a tripod on a cruise? And so I'm going to be taking three different ways of for mounting my cameras. One's going to be my 6-inch Gorilla Pod, or Joby, Joby, they call them Jobies, but they're Gorilla Pods also. It's 6 inches and has 3 arms. They can grip on the most surfaces, and I do plan on actually buying a Gorilla Mini or whatever it is, and it has magnetic feet on it, and so you can put it on metal and your camera will sit on whatever it is more sturdy without having to grip it. I also plan on taking this monopod. This is a monopod I picked up in the sporting goods section at Walmart for $5. It's got this gun mount. It actually unscrews, and you can put your camera right on it. So if I can get it on there, just like so, then you can stick it out and you can do all kinds of things. But see, this one extends to 34 inches. It's perfect for taking pictures with a camera of any sorts, or video with it, like the video camera I'm using right now. But I plan on using my GoPro underwater, and I want to make a monopod, basically, a handheld monopod, which is just short enough to hold on to and sturdy, and so that I can control it. I don't want to take this one underwater because I actually use this for hunting and everything, and it shouldn't get too bad, but it is aluminum and it shouldn't rust. And on top of it being black underneath, and I painted it black. It's black underneath, and I painted it tan to go with my rifle's color scheme for hunting. I don't want to have the water sit in this the way it probably will. And so I'm going to be making my own little monopod, and you're going to be right there with me. It's not going to take very long. What I have here is some 3/4 inch PVC. This is like a 5-foot piece, and it cost me $1 something at Lowe's. Everything I bought this evening for this project cost me a whole $5.20. So I have this here. It cost me like $1.10. A cap. This is actually a 1-inch plug, but I'm going to have to grind it out just a little bit to fit over this. And then a 3/4 inch cap, which will go on the other end. Now I'm debating on whether I should seal it up so I can put stuff in there, or just leave it be. I'm probably just going to seal it up and make it watertight. I'm also going to be putting some old life vest foam. I'm going to cut a couple slivers and put it down in here so it will float a little bit. But they do make monopod or hand grips for the GoPro that actually have foam on them. They'll float and everything. But I'm going to be getting the foam back cover for the GoPro, which is a big orange cover, and it will make it float on top of the piece of paracord that will be coming out at the end of this from my wrist. So this will be really cool to be utilizing when I'm out, not just in the cruise, but shooting or helping, videoing other people. So stick with me and we'll get it going. First off is going to be the plug. This is going to be the obviously the end cap for the side of the mount the camera is going to be on. This is a tripod mount, which you can get through for GoPros. I actually picked this up at the same store for $5. This comes with this mount and a tripod mount, which is square, and obviously the other flush mounts, or other mounts for the GoPro. This will be going on here flush, and so that's why I got it for a plug instead of a cap, because the cap for the 3/4 inch PVC is actually round. They did not have a 3/4 inch cap that was square at my store, and so I didn't want to have that big old spot being missing. With that being said, I will be drilling a hole through here, and depending on what I got, I have 3/4 and 1 inch 1/4 by 20 nuts here. These are obviously just Phillips head. They will be going through here, and I was going to chop them down to fit perfectly, but what I'm going to do is just say I'll put a nut on here, and depending on how deep it needed to be, I'll just put another nut, and then I'm going to be epoxying the nut into the inside of this, so that everything is going to be permanent on this end. So we'll just go ahead and start with the drilling of the hole. One thing I did want to mention is that I'm going to be making the hole in this cat, or this plug hole. I'm actually going to be making it slightly smaller than the 3/4 at what was this one at? Yeah, 13/64, so that I can screw this through the cap. That way it has a little bit more retention, so it's not just falling through, in case the epoxy does happen to end up breaking loose for any reason, which it shouldn't, because it's going to be this Loctite 2-part plastic epoxy. So if I am epoxying the epoxy, putting this epoxy in the cap, filling up and over the nut, or I guess this was the bolt. Sorry, since I'm going over this and the nut, actually, it should be able to fill that up. So we will start out with just a simple hole, or a small. This is like, I can't even tell you how small that one is. This is the smallest I go for my drill bits. So we'll find general center. And that's not center. Okay, so, and I know it's not very much to actually go and drill through this plastic, but I'm just wanting to make it exactly as perfect as I can without wrapping up my towel. And that's far from center. Now, you know what, I'll just jump right into it. This is the 13/64. And it's not exactly center, but you know what, it's going to work for what I got. That being said, we'll just test it out. Yep, it'll work. So I'm going to, basically, with this nut, bolt, I'm going to be threading the plastic for it. I know it's the opposite direction, but there's a reason for that. Oh, that's always fun. obviously, as you can tell, now it's all crazy. Alright, now it's pretty straight. I'll just be taking it right. Okay, now it's flush, and it's obviously a little bit off center, but you know what, in the long run, that's not going to make a big deal. Anyways. Okay, so that's about as much as I want to be left out, just sticking out, and then I will definitely be testing this here. So that is how much I want. It's perfect, and right now it's cinched down. There is a little bit of space on each side that's not correct, but it will be just what I need, actually. I think will work. Okay. Okay, so on my part here, I'm going to be taking a couple of these nuts to take up that slack. Okay. Go back in the hole. Okay, right here. And what I'm going to be doing is throwing my GoPro around. Okay. So now after I've got the spacer I need it, I've got the nut and everything, or the bolt and the nuts and the washers in there, to kind of get some space in there, so the epoxy will go around that. Now there's also a little bit of a space there, and so next what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to simply take this back out, take the the camera off, and I'm going to grind this out with the Dremel, and then we will be capping the PVC and then gluing that on there. So hopefully we can get that there. Okay guys, so I'm finally back. I had to sand that all out with the Dremel. Had to make it much bigger, and then I had to file this down and sand it a little bit and make it nice and neat as much as I could. There's a little bit of a taper there to get this to fit in there, because that is a 1-inch plug. This is a 3/4 inch piece, so I actually had, like I said, instead of having this go inside that, it goes over it. It does flush. It does sit mount It is mount flush, and that is in there. Now my next step is going to be epoxying this piece in there. So I'm going to get some gloves, and we're going to get that started. Simply, I like to use nitrile gloves. These are just like some medical grade. I do have some heavy duty, nitrile gloves, but they're just too heavy for this, for how much they cost. Simply just have the old container, or the old package to an old epoxy container. And what we're going to do here is simply snip the ends off. Actually, I'm going to pop this off first. Now with these, when you're done with what you haven't used, you want to store it up, because this will drain when you're done. It will drip, drip, drip. And you're going to want to pull back just a hair too. There's a lot of people who don't know what epoxy is or how to use epoxy. And I usually use a gray resin epoxy, but this one's much different than what I usually use. So, simply just gonna place it in there. It sits in 5 minutes. I'm gonna be using quite a bit, and so when I'm done pushing it out, I always pull back to get that little air pocket there, so it does not drain out if it does fall over. And then simply snap on your cap like so. It's kind of stuff here. Anyways, we're just gonna I pull this off here. I have it set where I need it to be setting. Since I did sand this all down, and I sanded this one down, that gives a little bit of a space to be, like a mounting point, so it gets a better grip. Now I could be using PVC glue and PVC cleaner, but for the little budget I had, I didn't want to go ahead and buy a $10 can of cleaner, $10 can and a $10 can of cleaner and glue. I didn't want to do that. I already had this two-part epoxy from a project I was going to do a long time ago, but didn't get to. So we're just going to simply add it in there. All around. Actually, you know what? On this note, we're just going to take this. We're going to pour that right into there. And this stuff does get warm because the reaction, I do believe this is the one that does get warm. I know the quick set epoxy, this is a 1 minute instant epoxy, it does get warm because the chemical reaction. And so if you ever do that, that's what happens. I'll just mix it this way. That's much easier. Just go ahead and mix it right where I'm going to be putting it at. And I want it to cap the bolt and the nuts in there, and to keep them in place. It will be waterproofing, obviously, the area also. Excuse me. Simple as that. Okay, and so this is obviously the end. A little bit did squirt out, but I don't want it to do so. Exactly. It is a little bit lopsided because I did get the sanding points a little goofy. So, that's being said, let's make sure it's set right. We're just going to take And I was just thinking about this. I'm going to be painting this black, and I will be putting a little bit of a rubber grip on it. I have some neoprene, like an old neoprene vest. I'm going to be sewing up a little hand wrap for this. And I was sitting there thinking, this may be interesting going through TSA, or the security checkpoint at least, on the boat, if they do wonder. Because it does look like a pipe bomb. So before I'm done, I may go ahead and round that cap off with a little bit of a, I'll do a little bit of work on it, round that cap off and make it look a little bit less likely to explode. But obviously I'm going to keep my GoPro on it, and I'm going to be putting one of these GoPro stickers on it. So hopefully that I will do that and not look like a bomb. So alright, I'm going to go cut some foam, stick it down in there, and then once this dries we'll come back and we will cap it. Okay guys, so it's the next day. I've finished my little mount here. As you can see, this is the size it is. I think it looks pretty good. It looks pretty cool. It's handheld, obviously. I got a little attachment here. What I basically did was just drill a hole through the end cap, put the paracord through there. Epoxied it also, and then I put a knot on the other side. I epoxied it. That went over and around the knot, and then I slip the cap on to epoxy the cap on. So the cap is airtight on both sides, and so is the little bolt. That is airtight in there. So I will be doing a quick, I guess, water or floating test as much as I can. But anyways, this would be good, you know, to hold it and everything. And for my selfies, I guess you could say, I could be holding this out there and doing my video, or I can flip my mount around so it goes all the way down, you know, this angle pointing out, and I can hold this underwater and I can video whatever fish or whatever it be. I did paint it flat black, first of all, because I like the look of it. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, flat black, and then I plasti dipped it. I put plasti dip on this side, so it gives a little bit of a rubber coating, so it's not sliding so much. I don't know how it will handle underwater, but we'll test it out. Had to put the GoPro sticker on it because as soon as I got this done, I was looking at it when it was you know, just the straight PVC white. I was like, that looks like a freaking pipe bomb. So I went ahead and painted it black. Still looks like a pipe bomb, but if they want to go ahead and sacrifice this little mount, they can cut it open or something, I guess. I don't know. There's nothing but epoxy in there and air. But it is airtight. There's a nice little seal there on this little rim here. That's where I epoxied it and ran it smooth, and so it looks pretty good. But I'll go ahead and test her out. Alright, here we are. So I decided to come on out here on this nice, glorious day in the sun to test out this little monopod. Sorry, I got here. Hold it out there pretty good. I can get out there another foot away from me. I guess good for selfies. But it'll work well. As I was talking about going underwater, I'll turn you around here. Turn you around, and then I can go down and I can see what I need to. I know it's kind of sketchy, but you know, down to my flowers, I can get down to them and hold it pretty good. But I'll see how far I can go back. You can see the size of it from there. It's only about 8 inches long. Nice. You can pack it into a bag or whatever. Put it in a camera bag also, or strap it onto the camera bag, and we'll be good to go. So I hope it doesn't get to become a sacrificial mount, because that thing looks pretty good. Anyways, Ian from Mid-America Prep, thanks for tuning in and watching. You guys, be safe.